the way they figured it, for that 6 years, they should get about $2,400 a year retirement. Because of the way this is figured, they'll get $40,000 a year additional retirement. In fact, for that 6 years of non-elected service, they will get more money than my wife did after retiring at 36 years. And these are the type of things, and this is why I'm saying is that we need to reform the retirement system. But the way we need to reform it is to go back and fix those inequities. If somebody didn't earn it and they didn't pay for it, then we shouldn't be paying for it. Mm-hmm. But this idea that every little giveaway that got put into the system that we're going to ignore, that one bill that got passed in 1988 that created this has cost OPRs over $1 billion. And I mentioned there's a county lady that worked in the clerk's office and then became a county commissioner. Her retirement should have been $31,200. She retired at $76,000 a year. At 55 years of age, if she lives to be 85, she'll get $1.3 million more than she's entitled to getting. And we have multiple cases of this.
And that is probably draining the state.
It absolutely is. And you know, this idea that we have to keep every promise that was ever made, I'm going, no, if it wasn't earned and it wasn't paid for, then this puts the systems in a bind. Mm-hmm. In fact, the OPR system is 82% funded. And it's on an upward incline, which means in about 10, 11 years it'll be 100% funded. But if this bill did not go into effect and that money stayed in the system, OPRs would be virtually 100% funded. But we can't seem to have the political will to fix these inequities. Mm-hmm. But basically what we're doing is we're saying now what we're going to do, we're going to now tell future employees, which are my kids and grandkids, and I can tell you that, you know, with my, you know, the people in my family, there's a good likelihood that one or all three of my grandkids will probably be teachers. But what we're telling them is that because we have mismanaged this and we have given benefits to people that don't deserve them, that we're now going to give you a reduced benefit and take the difference to pay off the old debt. And I said, this is typical of what we seem to do is to run up these huge debts and let our kids and grandkids pay for them. But the thing that really concerns me, and when you talk to superintendents and talk to other teachers, is that used to when you posted a job application for teachers, you would get 2 or 3 dozen applicants.
Right.
Now you're lucky if you get 2 or 3.
Right.
And now we're telling them that we're not going to allow you to have a retirement system that will allow you to retire making where you don't have to retire in poverty. Right. And how are we going to be able to recruit teachers? How are we going to be able to retain teachers? Right. And they say, well, we're going to make it more portable. So what we're going to do is we're going to have teachers that come in and we train them and they get experience here. Then all of a sudden they're looking at Arkansas and they're looking at Texas saying they pay more and the retirement's better. I'm going to take my money, I'm going to go there.
Well, that's exactly right. And we know that there is already a teacher shortage here in Oklahoma. And we also know that we're the lowest paid teachers in the surrounding areas. And now if they take away the pension, there is no incentive for the teachers to stay here.
Well, me as an employee or employer, I have 120 people that work for me. And I don't lose very many employees to the private sector. I lose employees to other state agencies that are paying more money because they realize the value of those benefits. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, they'll get offered more money in the private sector, but they start weighing that once they've been there for a while, saying, you know what, over a period of time, I'm going to build this modest retirement that I'll lose if I go somewhere else. And so that's a retention tool for us, and it's a recruitment tool that we're going to lose if this bill gets passed.
Well, and the other big difference, and I think most of the teachers know this, but let's make sure we're clear on this, and that is, with the current system, you draw the retirement till the day you die. Under this proposed system, if they go to the 401k, the money will eventually run out depending on how long they live. Am I understanding that correctly?
Absolutely. I mean, basically what it says is you have this much money to, based on, and there's no guarantee because the interest rates, you don't know what the market's going to do. But you put so much in, the state puts so much in, and then whatever that money earns is how much money you have available when you retire.
Right. And so we could essentially see teachers elderly without any money.
You also, what you can have is people will say, well, I have an emergency at the time, I'll go borrow against that, or I'll take that money out. And so, I've heard statistics that say that the average person between, between 55 and 60, in their 401k, they have something like $30,000.
Oh my goodness. Well, as a taxpayer, and this is important for the general public, we're getting ready to inherit a nightmare. If this perhaps goes through, we could potentially be seen paying out lots of tax dollars because these people will have nothing.
Well, and we've seen this in many states that have gone to this type of plan, is that they're now coming back and looking at it. Some of them have come back and said, you know what, now what we're doing is we're paying less benefits to the employees, and then retire, then they qualify for aid benefits, and we're having to turn around and pay money that way, as opposed to having a set amount that they'll have at a certain period of time. And it is not a drain to the state if it's managed properly. If you make sure, and what you need to do is every year you need to see how much money you need to put into the system. You also need to see, is that at some point in time, do you need to tweak the benefits? Does the employee need to pay more? Does the employer need to pay more? And if you manage that properly, it's very manageable. It's just we have not done a good job of managing it in the past.
And now the teachers will pay.
Well, I mean, right now it's just for public employees, and the indication is that next year may be the year that they try to do this with teachers.
We're all fully aware of what is potentially could happen in the future. Anything else that you would like to add, Auditor Jones? No,
it's just me being a CPA and somebody that understands the numbers, is that if your concern is, and everybody says the concern is that unfunded, $11 billion. Mm-hmm. The quickest way to pay that down is to make adjustments to the current system and base it on future employment, not based on future employees. You can make those adjustments now and come back and fix it a lot quicker and have a lot more stability in the system than doing what they're doing. Right, very good. Well, thank you so much for being here with Professional Employment Educators, sharing this. This is a very important issue. Teachers, if you have questions for the auditor, please send those to our address that our host will be sharing with you at the end of the show, and we will make sure that the state auditor gets those questions, and we will put those on our website to answer your concerns. Thank you so much. We appreciate having you here. Thank you. It's been good with you. Great. Thank you.